10 seconds.
Is this where the damn drumming and the music kicks in?
Yeah. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Pipe Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tyler Shepardson, and today is Tuesday, March 24th, 2020, which can only mean one thing. It is time for another episode of OTP Tuesdays. We're going to keep them rolling right at you, even though the entire world has shut down. The world is on lockdown. Races are on lockdown. Stores are on lockdown. Restaurants are on lockdown. The whole entire economy is on lockdown. We're all pent up. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. No races to attend. What is going on? It's pretty crazy that it's come to this. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime before, so it's really weird to get used to. For me, it has been business as usual for the most part. I've still been working every single day. We still have all of our stuff going on. I work for a telecom company. For those of you that don't know, I am the safety director for a telecom company here in Charlotte, North Carolina. We've had a few of our job sites get closed down, but overall the majority of them are still up and running. And if we have people working, then safety is of the utmost importance. So that being said, my routine's been pretty much normal, going to work, coming home, and a little bit sketchy, not too sketchy, but as the safety guy, my job is to go out and check on every single job site that we have. So, long story short, if anyone gets the coronavirus, I'm going to get it because I see everybody in the company on a weekly basis. So if somebody in my company gets it, I'm going to get it and transfer it to everybody else in my company. But until that happens, we're still rolling and moving forward. So obviously, without racing going on, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. There's not a whole lot going on in the news, but I want to make sure I stay consistent. I know from the comments, the messages, things like that, I know that you guys have looked forward to getting these episodes Wednesday morning. Usually it is kind of late when I get them out on Tuesdays, but I've heard from a lot of you that it is the way you start your Wednesday mornings. So for that, I say thank you. And I couldn't be more grateful for each and every one of you that are hearing this right now, that took it upon yourself to listen to this episode, to click on it, because you could be doing anything right now with your quarantine time. There's the sky's the limit. You have the whole internet at your disposal, and you've chose to listen to On the Pipe podcast. So I appreciate that. I wish we had more to talk about. I wish there was a lot going on. There's not. Everything's shut down. I did see today on Instagram, it was on Stuart Baylor Jr.'s Instagram stories. I guess they were out road biking today, and a 18-wheeler almost hit Evan Smith. So Evan Smith, we've talked about him earlier this year. We talked about him throughout the show. He's a friend of mine who races the full gases. He fractured the bone in his hand, and he had a little bit of trouble recovering from that, or it really just took some time, and he spent all of 2020 off the bike. He had about 30 minutes on the bike before he went to the Big Buck GNCC. So obviously, not a lot of time to prepare when you're coming back from an injury like that affects you so much on the bike, especially being in your hand. So Evan was out riding today. From what I saw, it was Thorne Devlin, Stu Baylor. I don't know who else is with them, but they were saying that a big truck came very close to hitting him and taking him off of his bike on a 4-lane highway. And I guess obviously the big truck did not hit him, but he still went down somehow. I don't know if it was moving to avoid the big truck or win from the big truck, or I don't know what happened, but he's got road rash all up and down him. But it's just a scary situation, and I saw that, and my immediate thought was, I'm just glad he's okay. I mean, he's already gone through this injury coming back this year, but when you get hit by an 18-wheeler, there's not much coming back from those injuries. So very glad that turned out the best way that it possibly could have, but it is also unfortunate that he was in that position to begin with. So if you guys want, go reach out to Evan Smith on his Instagram. I think he reposted the story. Shoot him a message, comment on his last photo, do something like that. Just kind of uplift him a little bit, because I mean, I can't imagine. That's got to be scary going through a situation like that. But as far as racing goes, that's about the most interesting thing that I've seen. We got Caleb Russell, who recently announced, I think it was on the Pulp MX show, was the first time I heard him talking about it publicly anyway, that he plans to open a riding and training facility in North Carolina. He bought some land in Boonville, North Carolina, which is where he and his wife and 2 children live. So they have started breaking ground on that this week. You can keep up with all the action on KR's Instagram page, and he actually just put out a vlog about it today. But Johnny Gallagher has been out there helping him, and so is JoJo Bowden. So they're getting that place dialed in. 402 Trails is up there. They're the ones doing it. 402 Trails. They are a local track builder in this area. They've built several tracks around this area, and they are very good at what they do. So you can check out their work on Instagram and also on KR's track. But it is not for the beginners to intermediates, I will tell you that. They're not even done with it, and that thing has some booters. So it's going to turn out pretty good. I guess they got a turn track that's going to go in as well. He cleared off a spot. There's going to be a whole shop. I guess from what I understand, it's going to be a similar setup to Ranch Russell down there just outside of Palatka, Florida, where he trains in the off-season. But I guess after retirement, his plan is to train there and to train other riders there and hold camps and hold schools and really develop his own training program. So it's really cool to see him breaking ground on that and getting that to happen. They got all the machine up there. They got all the help up there, and it is all coming together. So, as I mentioned, he just put out a video this morning on YouTube that is a vlog letting you see the development of it, I guess you could say. So, if you're interested in that, you can go and check that out. I'm trying to find ways to keep everything interesting, and I've been sitting here staring at my microphone for what seems like about 4 hours trying to figure out what in the world to talk about. And now it is 10:30 at night at this current time, and I gotta be at work by 6 o'clock in the morning. So figured I'd just go ahead and hit record and start rolling. But trying to keep everything as interesting as possible. I have a couple videos that I'm working on right now. If you have not yet seen any of my videos, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's if you just search TShep704, that's my Instagram, that's my Twitter, that's my YouTube, that's my Snapchat, that's anything in my life that requires a username, it's TShep704. But that being said, if you want to go to YouTube and search for TShep704, I got some vlogs of my own on there, just kind of covering the backgrounds of races that I've been at. Last year, I did quite a few of them. I did highlights at Steel Creek. I did highlights at Camp Coker. All sorts of stuff going on there. So if you want to check those out, stay in the loop and tell me if you like any of those. I'm going to try to keep those going throughout this season, especially getting more and more involved with the GNCC series and possibly Full Gas as well. Not sure where everything stands with the whole Full Gas thing as of right now, but yeah, if you just check those out, let me know what you like and what you don't like. We'll try to keep more of the content you all do like coming at you. But I'm working on a video right now. A couple weeks ago, I went riding with one of my good buddies, Dustin Simpson. we have a mutual good friend, Lane Stewart, who owns it's one of my favorite places to ride. Hands down, it's one of my favorite places to ride. It's a track and trail system. It's really a trail, but it's got sand, it's got clay, it's got jumps, it's got a river section, it's got rocks, it's got single track, it's got fast, it's got everything. And it's right down the road from us, and it's really fun to ride. But I got a lot of video of Dustin from that day, and I've kind of just been sitting on the video clips and all the stuff I got from that day, so I'm working on putting that edit together, so you should be seeing that coming out sometime soon. Speaking of my vlogs from last year, there was one that I did not complete, and I completely forgot that I did not complete it, and that was the the Mountaineer. No, because the Mountaineer was at the Boy Scout camp, so it was the Mason-Dixon. So I have an unfinished vlog from the Mason-Dixon GNCC that I'm working on finishing now. That'll be up soon as well. That one's pretty cool. It was the one at High Point Raceway. So little bike riding action over at High Point. There was a dog show. Molly was in the dog show. She got 3rd place out of 3. Was not pumped, but we'll work on it. That was also where the pit bike designations took place, where 10 states, I believe it was, had 3 rider representatives, and we did 3 motos with each of the 3 riders, and I was the team captain for North Carolina. I went with my picks small and fast. We had Max Rust, we had Zach Davidson, and we had Dylan Zimpel. So that was the dream team. Had a little bit of issues on the start and the second motos there with, I think it was Zach, but came back to get second. I think Dylan got 3rd, and Max Rust went out there for the final moto and won that thing. So that was pretty cool. But we got 3rd as a team, and I think it was Ohio that ended up winning it. They brought actual professional pit bike racers. Willie Browning was there. I think it was Indiana that got 2nd, Team Indiana. So North Carolina, we were on the podium there with a 3rd place finish in the pit bike designations. I got video from that. And then I also got some GoPro footage from the race, which that was a pretty crazy race in itself. A lot of dust, and that was the one where the pro bikes were dropping like flies, and not just the pro bikes, all bikes. I mean, with all that dust and everything going on, all those bikes were dropping left and right, except for them Yamahas. So, and I think it's because of where the intake is on the Yamahas. It kind of keeps it up and out of the way of most of the dust, whereas the typical air boxes underneath the seat, it's really opening up. There's vents at the bottom for water and things to drain out of them. But when you're talking about that silty, fine dust like we had up there, once you get your back wheel spinning that stuff up, it's just going to force some of it up into your air box. And I think that's a lot of the reason why we saw a lot of those bikes DNFing up there. But nevertheless, it was an awesome weekend. It was a good race, and just so much stuff went on that weekend, from the dog show to the pit bike race, and just hanging out in general, being able to go over and check out the motocross track. So a lot of stuff going on there. That video will be coming out soon. Also, if you want to check out On the Pipe podcast YouTube, if you're a regular listener of the show, then as of right now, there's nothing new on there that you have not heard. But what I've started doing is each week when we do this OTP Tuesday, try to get interviews in here and try to get people coming in. And I've had some big names on so far. And what I'm going to start doing is taking those individual interviews and placing them on YouTube by themselves, so you don't have to necessarily listen to the whole entire show. You can go back and listen to the individual interviews by themselves. So those are all on the Pipe podcast YouTube page if you search for it there. But yeah, other than that, I have some stuff planned coming at you that we're going to keep these Tuesday shows interesting. And right now, what I'm thinking is do a theme each week. And not going to go into a whole bunch of detail because I really want it to be a little bit of a surprise. I think some of them are some really good ideas. So keep in mind, this may be one of the most boring Tuesday episodes that you'll listen to, but they're only going to get better. So I got some ideas. We're still going to have interviews. We're still going to have people on. So make sure you keep tuning in each Tuesday or Wednesday morning whenever you normally listen to them. And I promise I will keep them coming at you because consistency is key. And we've definitely seen that this year. Keeping this stuff coming, but I don't want to just be sitting here rambling and talking about nothing. I want this stuff to be engaging. I want you to want to hear it. I want you to want to listen to On the Pipe podcast. And after all, that is the whole entire goal of starting this thing, is to give riders, racers, and fans a place to come, a place to bench race, a place to catch up on some information, have it all in one spot, and really find out what is going on and stay in the loop and stay in tune with off-road racing. More specifically, East Coast racing is the way that it has panned out to be so far. Trying to get into the West Coast stuff, but I mean, that's mainly it. This whole thing started over passion. This is 100% a passion project. I'm not out there trying to make myself famous. I'm not out there trying to, I don't know. I'm the whole point of this is that this is fun. This is what I do. It's what we all do. We're all chasing these same races through the middle of fields, all up and down the East Coast, all year long. Every opportunity that I have to race, I personally race. I ride my dirt bike as much as possible. It's just all passion for me. This is what I am interested in. It's what my free time goes in, is dirt bikes and MMA. And that is really it. So this is just a way. There is no consolidated place to get off-road media and to get off-road coverage and to get off-road results. And that's all I'm trying to do here, is just shine a brighter light on off-road. And I know I get in the habit of saying that, but it's true. That's really what the purpose is here. So I appreciate you all listening. As I mentioned, we're going to keep it coming at you. We're going to keep it interesting. And I got some stuff lined up for next Tuesday already. Probably get it done before then. I've also talked to at least 3 of the pro riders to do shows this coming week. So maybe not necessarily just an OTP Tuesday. We're going to look back into getting some of the OG episodes, kind of sit down face to face, as long as we're 6 feet apart, according to the damn whoever makes these rules. But yeah, we'll bring some of those OG style episodes to you to get the full conversation, get the full poll on what is going on. So keep an eye out for those as well. And as I mentioned, if you have any suggestions, go ahead and shoot them to me. Shoot me a message, shoot me a text, however you want to get a hold of me. Let me know what you would like to see in these next couple weeks, given that there are no races specifically to talk about. Also, if you want to ride, hit me up. I want to ride. I've been itching to ride, dying to ride. I want to ride as much as possible. We just had a few of my buddies come over here. Good friend of the show, Bradley Chapman. Him and I live pretty close to each other, and I got some trails right here near my house. So him and I actually rented a skid steer over the weekend. We got the trails all dialed in, got a couple creek jumps made, carved out another couple jumps, and really just tied that whole loop together. So plan to put in some motos out there, but it's just been gloomy and cold and rainy all week long. I'm hoping that can dry out by Wednesday or Thursday, because I got the itch. All I want to do is ride dirt bikes. So if you guys want to ride here, hit me up. We'll make it happen. If you guys got a place to ride, hit me up. We'll make it happen. And yeah, any other suggestions, I'd love to hear them. But as I mentioned, next week's show I think is going to be a good one. Next week's Tuesday show, OTP Tuesday, is going to be a good one. I got it lined up already. Had a little bit of schedule issues with 2 of the folks. Otherwise, that would have been the episode today. But given everything that's going on in the world, we're trying to make it happen. And, that's all we can do moving forward. So don't lose faith. We're going to have some good, engaging content coming at you. And I hope to get back to racing as soon as humanly possible. Donald Trump just came out in a thing today and said that he wants everything to start opening up by Easter, which is April 12th. How that affects the races, I do not know, because right now GNCC is scheduled to race before that. MX Sports, the parent or sister company, depending on how you want to look at it, of GNCC, has already postponed the start of the Outdoor National Series. They've pushed it back to, I think, July is when it's starting now, June or July. But they've already pushed that back, so I know some people are skeptical about what GNCC is going to do. GNCC is its own different entity. It is a completely different ball game than outdoor motocross. So right now, they have not changed or altered or postponed anything with the date for the next race, which is Camp Coker GNCC in South Carolina. So I'm hoping that that stays true. And how great would that be if we were able to go racing here in just a couple weeks at the Camp Coker Bullet GNCC? I have my fingers crossed. I have my toes crossed. My dog's laying right next to me. She's got both of her feet crossed, that we will be able to return to racing at the Camp Coker GNCC. So we'll keep you updated. If I hear anything about it between now and then, I'll let you know. But go give Caleb Russell's vlog a listen or a watch. Go say something to Evan Smith. Let him know that we were all thinking about him and glad that he's safe. And Trevor Bollinger, he's healing up from his knee surgery. He's got a TikTok, and he's trying to get that thing going. So search for Trevor on TikTok. His thing is TXC39 from the old Husky TXC310 that he used to ride, that I ended up owning his old Husky after him back in the day, one of the redheads. So just a little weird thing about how I met Trevor. But OTP, we have our own TikTok, putting a whole bunch of riding clips on there. And it seems to be doing well. It's kind of taking off. So if you got a TikTok, look up On the Pipe Podcast, because it's lit, fam. I think that's what people that use TikTok say. But, yeah, other than that, go give these dirt bike riders some love. I mean, we talked to Kenzie last week. She mentioned that, I mean, there's the factory riders, they're on salary. I would like to think that they're okay. Most of the amateur riders, they work full time, so they got their own work, so they're okay. But there are a lot of riders making it with just race earnings and race winnings. So there's a lot of people that are in tough times right now, and not only racers, just people in general. So keep that in mind as you go about your day. Be nice, help out, do what you can. There's a lot of us that have it a lot better than a lot of people. And if you happen to fall in that category, don't be afraid to lend a helping hand to those in need. And that goes across the board, whether they race dirt bikes every weekend or can't even spell dirt bike or know what a dirt bike is. These are times where we all need to come together. Granted, you may not agree with what is going on because of this thing. I'm kind of in that boat. I don't believe that we should be doing all this over it, but I can't change it. You can't change it. It is what it is, and even if we don't agree with it, it is happening. So if there's anything you can do to help out somebody, help them out. This is a time where everyone needs to come together. It's a time where everyone is quarantined and off by themselves, so it's a time to take in a lot of content, to get caught up on things. Follow your favorite riders. Let them know that you're thinking about them. Let them know that you didn't forget about them. You guys all know there's 3 pro classes. There's a gajillion amateur classes. Go find some new riders that maybe you didn't know anything about. Give them a follow. Ask them some questions. See what's going on. I mean, there's all these challenges going around. Tag them in it. Like I said, everyone's kind of in the same boat right now. Nowhere to go to race, nowhere to go to do anything else. Everyone's just kind of hanging out. So that's why we're going to keep these episodes coming at you, and we're going to keep new stuff coming out for you. Keep an eye out for those videos coming out this week. Also, give our buddies Armored Graphics a follow as they continue working on their website, and they are pumping out orders right now. So if you've wanted some Armored Graphics, now is the time to do it. You can still give them a call, shoot them an email, shoot them a message on Instagram. However you want to do it, let them know you are an OTP listener. They have a promo code OTP that's going to save you 15% off of anything that you order from them, number plates, graphics, shirts, hats, things like that. So big thanks to them. And yeah, there's a lot of companies that are hurting right now, so support the companies that have supported your sport and shop local when everything opens back up. That's the best advice I can give you. Other than that, sorry this episode was a little cut and dry, a little boring. We're going to spice them up and have them coming at you here over the next couple weeks. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Maybe do some live ones so you guys can join in and get involved and ask some questions too. But until then, thank you all for listening. We will see you next week, or might see you before that. I don't know. Keep an eye out. Keep an ear out. I'll let you know. Stay safe. Don't get sick. Wash your hands.